Warren Buffett is one of the wealthiest and well-known business people in the world. He is referred to as the Oracle of Omaha. He is also an expert on investments. Warren Buffett showed early on that he had excellent business acumen. In 1956, he established Buffett Partnership Limited, and by 1965, he had taken over management of Berkshire Hathaway. Buffett became one of the richest men in the world and a well-known philanthropist by managing the expansion of a conglomerate with stakes in media, insurance, energy, and food and beverage industries. Early life. In Omaha, Nebraska on August 30, 1930, Warren Edward Buffett was born. Howard Buffett, Buffett's father, was a congressman and a stockbroker. Leila Starr Buffett, his mother, was a housewife. Buffett was the only male and the second of 3 children. Friends and friends have claimed that the young boy was a mathematical prodigy who could add significant columns of numbers in his head, a capacity he occasionally displayed in his later years. He showed early aptitude for financial and economic concerns. As a child, Buffett frequently went to his father's stock brokerage business and wrote the stock value on the office chart board. He made his first investment at the age of 11 by purchasing 3 shares of Cities Service Preferred at a price of $38 each. The stock immediately fell to just $27, but Buffett clung to it with tenacity until it rose to $40. When the Cities Service stock price soared to almost $200 per share, he was sorry he had sold his shares at a little profit. He later referred to this encounter as his first investment lesson in patience, first entrepreneurial venture. By the time he was 13 years old, Buffett was operating his own paper delivery service and selling his own horse racing tip sheets. He submitted his first tax return that year and claimed a $35 tax deductions for his bike. Buffett's family relocated to Fredericksburg, Virginia, when Buffett's father was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1942, so they could be nearer to the congressman's new office. Buffett continued to plan new ways to generate money while he was a student at Woodrow Wilson High School in Washington, D.C. He and a classmate spent their time in high school buying a second-hand pinball machine for $25. Within a few months of having it installed, the revenue allowed them to purchase further equipment. Before selling the company for $1,200, Buffett had machines in 3 distinct places. Education. Buffett began his business studies at the University of Pennsylvania when he was 16 years old. He remained for 2 years, transferred to the University of Nebraska to complete his studies, and graduated from college at the age of 20 with almost $10,000 from his childhood business. He pursued further schooling at the New York Institute of Finance after earning his master's degree in economics in 1951 from Columbia University, where he studied under economist Benjamin Graham. Following 3 years of selling securities for Buffett, Falk and Company, Buffett spent 2 years working as an analyst for his mentor, Benjamin Graham, at Graham's Newman Corp. Graham's 1949 book, The Intelligent Investor, had a significant influence on Buffett. Berkshire Hathaway. In his hometown of Omaha, Buffett founded the business Buffett Partnership Limited in 1956. He identified undervalued businesses using the methods he had learned from Graham and succeeded in doing so, making him a billionaire. One of these many businesses that Buffett prized was Berkshire Hathaway, a manufacturer of textiles. Early in the 1960s, he started building up his stock, and by 1965, he was in charge of the business. Despite the firm's success, Buffett disbanded it in 1969 so he could concentrate on the growth of Berkshire Hathaway. He discontinued its textile manufacturing segment and instead invested in media, the Washington Post, insurance, GEIC Co., and oil to grow the business, Exxon. The Oracle of Omaha was so prosperous that he even turned seemingly bad investments into gold, most famously when he bought the scandal-riddled Solomon Brothers in 1987. From 1989 through 2006, Buffett served as a director of Coca-Cola following a sizable investment by Berkshire Hathaway. Additionally, he has held directorship in Graham Holdings, the Gillette Company, and Citigroup Global Market Holdings. Later activity and philanthropy. Buffett announced in June 2006 that he will donate all of his wealth to charity, allocating 85% of it to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The size of this donation surpassed any previous charitable giving in American history. Buffett and Gates announced the creation of the Giving Pledge campaign in 2010 with the goal of enlisting more affluent people in charitable endeavors. Buffett revealed in 2012 that he had been given a prostate cancer diagnosis. He started receiving radiation treatment in July and he finished them satisfactorily in November. The octogenarian, who consistently ranks close to the top of Forbes' list of world billionaires, was unfazed by the health worry. Buffett paid $28 billion in February 2013 to acquire H.J. Heinz from private equity firm 3G Capital. Duracell, a manufacturer of batteries, and Kraft Foods Group, which combined with Heinz in 2015 to establish the third largest food and beverage firm in North America, were later additions to Berkshire Hathaway's stable. Buffett created website Drive to Vote in 2016 with the goal of inspiring residents in his Nebraska community to exercise their right to vote, as well as to help with registration and provide transportation for those who require it. Buffett, a fervent backer of Hillary Clinton, the Democratic candidate for president, whom he had endorsed in 2015, also issued a challenge to Donald Trump, the Republican candidate, to meet and exchange tax returns at a rally on August 1st in Omaha. He declared, "I will meet him in Omaha or Mar-a-Lago, or he can pick the place anytime between now and the election. He will bring his return and I will bring mine. We both are being audited. And trust me, nobody is going to prevent us from discussing what is on those returns." Trump declined the offer, but ultimately his refusal to disclose his tax return did not influence the outcome of his 2016 presidential election. Buffett disclosed in May 2017 that he had started selling part of the nearly 81 million shares of IBM stock he owned, stating that he no longer placed the same value on the business as he had 6 years prior. His ownership of the corporation decreased to roughly 37 million shares in the third quarter following another transaction. On the other hand, he grew his stake in Apple by 3% while increasing his stake in Bank of America by 700 million shares through the exercise of warrants. He increased his holding in Apple early the next year, making it Berkshire Hathaway's largest common stock stake. According to a USA Today article, Buffett donated about $28 billion to charity between 2006 and 2017. Healthcare venture. In a joint press release issued on January 30, 2018, Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan Chase, and Amazon revealed their intention to collaborate to establish a new healthcare company for their American workers. The company would, according to the statement, be free from profit-making motivations and restraint, while it looked for methods to reduce expenses and enhance the overall patient experience, initially focusing on technological solutions. Buffett said, "We share the belief that putting our collective resources behind the country's best talents can, over time, check the rise in health costs while concurrently enhancing patient satisfaction and outcomes." He called the rising cost of healthcare a hungry tapeworm on the American economy. In March, media reports claimed that Home Services of America Incorporated, owned by Berkshire Hathaway and the second largest residential brokerage owner in the United States, was planning to make further moves to overtake NRT LLC, which is owned by Realogy. Buffett claimed he barely noticed the initial 2000 acquisition of Home Services by Berkshire Hathaway, which was then a subsidiary of Mid-American Energy Holdings Company. In the spring of 2020, Buffett made a comeback by revealing that Berkshire Hathaway had sold all of its shares in the Big Four airlines, American, Delta, and United, out of concern that the sector would never fully recover from the coronavirus pandemic. Personal life. At the age of 76, Buffett married his longtime love, Astrid Menks, in 2006. Buffett's first marriage to Susan Thompson ended in divorce in the 1970s, but they remained together from 1952 till her death in 2004. Susan, Howard, and Peter were the three children he and Susan had. Hi everyone, I hope this video has been informative. If you like this video and you like to see more contents like this, kindly like this video, share with others, leave a comment in the comment section, and also kindly subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed yet. Thanks for watching to the end, have a nice day, and look out for the next video.